Chipotle-style Taco Tuesday. Without giving too much information, in this video I will show you how I make a marinated chipotle, steak and chicken, as well as corn salsa, and guacamole, and cilantro lime rice. I usually marinate the meat 2 to 6 hours ahead of time, but no more than 24 hours. Chipotle uses boneless thighs, which I prefer, but I have used breasts and tenderloins as well. Let's start with the steak marinade. I had about 1.5 pounds of a thin cut of steak, 1 tablespoon of oil, 1/2 tablespoons of this chipotle concentrate. If you don't have this, it will still be delicious. Then 2 tablespoons of adobo sauce from Chipotle chilies, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix that up. Then coat your steak in the marinade. Cover and refrigerate. I usually do minimum 2 hours, or up to 6 hours is my usual. Don't marinate more than 24 hours. The chicken marinade is almost identical. I had a little over 2 pounds of chicken, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 tablespoon of the chipotle chili base. Again, I have done this many times. Without this, I just really like the flavor. Sorry it's not focused, but 1 tablespoon of adobo sauce from the chipotle chili can, 1.5 teaspoons of honey. Just mix it up. You salt the chicken before flipping on the stove top, so it is not needed in the marinade. Coat the chicken as well, then refrigerate for the same amount of time as the steak. While that's marinating, you can prep your salsas or sides. I used a bag of frozen corn and let it thaw, or you can mix it all together and let it thaw. I prefer fresh squeezed. You can use pre-squeezed lemon or lime juice. I use a combination of the two. I will not tell you why. Press and roll them against the counter or cutting board to help release the juices. Up until about a year ago, I never had a funnel, but I am really glad I do now. They save time for many reasons, whether it be on a mess, because you were not careful, and they save you money, because you spill less. I think it was only $1 at Walmart. For the corn salsa and guacamole, diced up red onion, jalapeno and cilantro. I do not have exact measurements for this quantity because I adjusted based off of the taste of my vegetables. Sometimes the lemon and lime juice isn't strong enough. Sometimes my peppers are very spicy. You get the idea. First thing, salt and citrus juice your corn. Add onions, jalapeno, and cilantro until it looks good to you. It was close to 1/3 of a cup each this time. If your corn isn't too frozen, taste it and adjust to your liking. For my family I used 4 avocados, then I smashed them with salt and citrus juice. Next I'm just adding red onions and jalapenos to set some aside without cilantro for the non-cilantro likers. Then the majority of it. Get cilantro. Give it a taste and make adjustments however you like. Refrigerate those as well. Then get your rice started to be ready with everything else. Only a few of us like the fajitas, so I didn't make much of those. I heated a bit of oil over a medium-high heat just to get a nice color on the onions and peppers. Season with salt, pepper, and oregano. When those were ready, I set them aside and then I did the chicken first in that same skillet for added flavor. Oil your skillet over a medium heat. Add your chicken. Just shake a little salt on top. It takes between 6 to 8 minutes per side. Once the chicken easily slides around, it's usually ready to flip. It will also depend on your pan. This is the color you are looking for. When the chicken is done, cut it up, set that aside to keep warm. Cut into the size you prefer. The steak doesn't take as long, so I do that last. For the steak, oil another skillet and cook for about 4 minutes per side on a medium-high heat, or longer depending on how you like it. It's not necessary to salt. We already added it in this marinade. I usually start mixing the cilantro lime rice at this point. Break up your rice well if you have to. You don't have to, but some might suggest coating your rice first in a splash of oil. If you choose to do that, mix it up. Then add salt and citrus juice. You can use just lime juice if you prefer. For about 3 cups of rice, I think used around 1/3 of a cup. Start out with a little and taste it. You don't want to add too much because you can't take it out. Or if you still had plain rice, you can add that if you already put too much. Last, add the cilantro and mix it all together. Next, I'm just cutting the steak into bite-sized pieces similar to chipotle. Then add it right back to the skillet and mix with all of its drippings. Also, there's just something about using boneless thighs that makes this way better. I also shredded up a block of Monterey Jack and a block of white cheddar cheese, combining them. From here on in the video, I'm just assembling my Taco Tuesday station and showing you some of the things my family makes with everything. For one of the two bigger sections, it gets the rice, then the shredded Monterey Jack, and white cheddar, guacamole, and corn salsa, then some black beans and fajitas. I put the chicken in the warmer pot and kept the steak warm on the stove. We use big and small flour tortillas, hard shell tacos, and tortilla chips. A lot of us like a double-decker, no matter what kind of tacos I make. Who doesn't love a good crunchy taco inside a soft taco? Steak and cheese quesadilla. We also had sour cream. I wish I had remembered lettuce. Most of the kids do chicken, soft tacos with cheese sour cream, and guacamole. My favorite is a chicken, black bean and corn quesadilla, or steak fajita quesadilla. Then we rolled up some big burritos with rice and everything else, and had that with some homemade salsa. This was a new salsa recipe, so I didn't record it. I want to make some adjustments still. This does take a decent amount of prep, so plan ahead to get everything ready in time. Let me know how you all eat Chipotle. Maybe next time I will make their vinaigrette. Thank you for watching. Sorry about my accent. And please subscribe.